Hey guys, it's Matt. It is Saturday, January 2nd. Happy New Year to you all. And well, I'm going to run through, I think, past 2 weeks. I didn't do a video last week. So we'll do the past 2 weeks and then we'll look at uh, probably the month and the year. I mean, why don't we just all get it done in one video? So I'll try not to be too long-winded. But this is what the month looked like. So this is December for me. You can see like 4 red days, the rest were green. Uh, all right, yeah, I don't know. Since the last video, I had some ups and downs. You can see here it was like I think gross about 80 bucks. So anyway, let's look through the trades really quick. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this. Monday the 21st, I didn't take any trades. I was here, watched the market, but just didn't see anything I liked. And then the 22nd, I had this NK trade. Let's go back to my journal here. So if you guys want, I'll let you read the read my journal and where I talk about being frustrated and stuff. So I mean, you can pause the video and read that. But the take home was I woke up in a bad mood that day and nothing changed that. So NK was a small winner, but I'm sure it was just it was the paint was drying at the end here. Is you know, it was just such a slow mover that I didn't feel like watching it anymore. But you can see I got short here, I recycled a little bit, and got my final position up here, and then took some profit there. That's about it, I guess. The next day, I tried to short Tesla. It looked like there was weakness, and I did a good job staying patient. I thought on my entry, and because I was like, ooh, maybe right off VWAP, but I was like, no, let it pop up above that, and then it was an obvious not short. But honestly, even in the room and some of the traders I follow, they were thinking like, wow, Tesla looks weak today, and then all of a sudden it was just buy, 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 buy. Like, I mean, this run was ridiculous. And so I was on the wrong side of it, but I stopped out, followed my rules, so I feel pretty good about that. That was one of my down days. You can see there that was a big old loser there on the 22nd, on the 23rd, sorry. On the 24th, one trade on AMPE. I think someone called that out in the room that I'm in, and it was easy to borrow for me. So I was like, okay, let's take a quick look at this and make it happen. It was above pre-market high there, but I think this one was inside its previous day's range, and there were some pivots there. I just don't have them on the chart. But anyway, I got short here. It popped up on me, but then ended up resolving, so took some profits through here. This last one, I think is one that I set. Yeah, I set a trailing stop on this one through here. And that was the wrong stop to set. I probably should have just set a stop at like whatever my average was, or break even or somewhere, and let it ride, because it would have been good to get some of this profit down here. But I stepped away. A friend asked me to go do something, and I did. And I was a little bit annoyed that I let that happen the way I did, just because I wasn't really in the mood to do it. Anyway, doesn't matter. I set the wrong stop because I was a little bit flustered. But whatever. I mean, it was a winner, and I made money, and got to leave and go enjoy something with a friend, so that's fine. Monday, and then that was Christmas and all that stuff, and then Monday the 28th, a winner on AQMS, which was easy to borrow. So you could see, it's funny, you look at this chart, or at least I look at this chart, and I think like, oh, this is a pretty solid trade and looks pretty easy, right? Like, you got short here, probably could have got short up here, which is where I was hesitating a little bit. But once I saw like, okay, this looks like backside now, like, okay, let's add to the position, let's add some strength, and then let's cover, and then I got stopped out here. And it's funny because sitting through this was painful. it was moving so slowly. It was trading. I mean, the volume's pretty low. You can see, especially through this area, but it was sitting through all of this chop in the negative was just brutal. And then even down through here, yeah, it was just really slow moving and some of that stuff. And it gets ugly. And this is something that I did these past couple of weeks. So I haven't had to work um, since before Christmas. So I had this whole week off. And for me, that just it allows me more time in the morning, and that's a good thing and a bad thing because I can just sit through longer trades when I would normally just go, okay, I got to get the hell out of here, and yeah, so that's not always a good thing. Anyway, it was a winner, and then Tuesday, winner on IMMR. Get that real quick. This is another one. I took this trade way too late in the morning. Way too late in the morning. And then got stuck in a grinder. And I followed my rules and had to work my way out of it. But, ugh, what a pain in the ass. So you can see I got short here thinking maybe this was backside. And it was not. I was shorting. Here's the thing. You can call it shorting front side, but it's still below pre-market high. So based on the rule set that I'm following, it's still a short play. And so, okay, whatever, took a small position, added to it, recycled out, all through this chop here, added back here and here, started to take some profit there, got grinded back on again. This was pre-market high. This was a daily pivot here. So stopped out half between here. This is actually a good play, though. Stopped out halfway between these pivots and then added my final position up here and then was willing to stop out up above here. In fact, I think my stop, I had an order set at like 13.12 right here, and it never got there. It got to like 13.10, and so it was pretty well managed actually. And then I ended up taking profit once it finally faded back in my direction. So happy with the way I managed the trade. Unhappy with the fact that I even got in the trade in the first place this late in the morning. I should have been going to the gym already. And so anyway, it was a really hard-fought $32. That was the last thing I said in my journal, I think. I was like, I'm going to the gym. And then some losers here in IPDN on Wednesday the 30th. So these were long trades. And I fat-fingered it. So it halted going up, and then we got a wash here, and I first got in too early. This first entry here it's too early, it's too high. I should have waited till at least the moving average. So I'm in at 430, right? And what it looks like on the screen here is that I got in, and then I added, and then I stopped out, and then I covered, and then I stopped out, right? What you don't see is that if you zoom in, it's a little red triangle there under this yellow triangle. And so what actually happened here was I got in too high and recognized it and was like, okay, I'm going to stop out half and then recycle lower because I think we're going to get this 370s or even 350 area, right? But instead of stopping half, I stopped the whole position. I hit the wrong goddamn key. So, and then I panicked, sort of, and I was like, oh, I got to get back in, though. I still want to be in this trade. And so then I got back in right like at the same level. And then I stopped out half here. And then so when this pop happened, I only had half my position left. And then I covered, half of what was left and then stopped out. I was holding thinking, maybe we get another run. Maybe this cracks high of day and blasts up through, but it didn't, and I stopped out down here. So the second trade ended up being a loser as well by like 75 cents or something. It was basically break even. But what should have happened here, even with this bad entry, like entered high, recycled half, I should have been adding here or here or here, right, through here, and then having a better average. My average would have been around 390 at that point probably, or something thereabouts, 395 with a full position. And then when we get this pop up into the 450s or 460s, then I'm profiting well, right? But instead I had a average of $4 even and took half of it off down here because I was thinking once when I saw this, I was thinking, okay, it's going to get down to 350, and that's really what I wanted. I wanted to add down here at 350 and then light it up. So honestly, I get so little practice with long trades that I'm just I'm kind of out of shape, sort of, I guess, with the functionality of how my hotkeys work and my entries and how to handle those. I've been shorting so much since July or August that I'm just more comfortable with those trades and how they're set up. AINC was on New Year's Eve. So this one was kind of a skippy stock. It was, pretty low volume and jumped around a lot. The spread was pretty wide at times, but and it was getting halted. So I think it was halted somewhere earlier in the morning. I don't remember where, but you can see it kind of it touched a low of day here, and then I should say made a low of day here. On the way back up here, I was thinking, okay, this thing's looking like it's going to fade, but it actually, I got short and it halted like right in my face. So this was a halt candle here. But this entry was small. It was small size, and so I like the way I managed this, because even though it resumed higher and it popped up here to actual pre-market high, which would have been a good first entry, honestly, instead of this thing down here. But I added up here. This was just one order that got filled in two separate chunks. I didn't add twice. Actually, it'd be cooler if I did, if I like saw the conviction in the trade and just pounded it. But and then my average was higher, and I started it dropped right into a downside halt, so I took some profit right before that halt, and then you can see I covered more here and covered more here. So anyway, those are the trades. We're back to, yeah, okay. So let's look at some other things. I think we already solved this, right? But let's look at December for the month on the reports view. So again, just for losing days, we'll look at this part though. So this is gross. Obviously, I don't have trader view tracking commissions, so we'll look at the back end report in just a minute here. So gross profits of a little more than 500, and then kind of what I like. My average winner is a little bit bigger than my average loser, and my accuracy is like 75%. That's kind of where I've been. Per share is 14. So yeah, it's a pretty good month. Really good month. If we look back at the last 2 months, kind of the same story. These numbers are right around the same. So back through October, I did have one big loser there in October, in early October, but still, so my percentage is down a little bit, but average win-loss is, break even between the two. And then if we include September, so I'm just going back month by month here, but you can see September is really where I started to hit my groove and got comfortable shorting and felt like I had a good system. So yeah, I'm happy with those stats, right? I mean, this number means a lot. So let's look at let's go to the back end here. I'm going to sign in off screen really quickly. Okay, so this is just for December. So you can see, just so it's verified, this is my actual prop report. So there's my gross that matched TraderView. And then here's net after commissions and fees and all of that. And then they take out the platform fee, and so here's what I'm left with. Which is actually, I mean, still, again, where I'm at right now is I love doing this. It's a hobby for me that I'm hoping will turn into, much more than a hobby. But to get paid $330 to have a hobby that you love, it's better than playing video games and not making anything. So, yeah, I'm happy with that. And then let me do, I'm actually going to take that screen down. That's annoying. I'm going to look at September. Let's just look at the bottom here. So from September through current, this is the gross. I believe that matched what was on TraderView. Commissions, fees, you can see then that knocks that down about $500, and then there's $647 in fees. So this includes, there were some times where I located shares which with Cmeg is really very costly because of the $25 flat fee that comes with all the locates. Interesting, actually, something that popped up the other day is that in our chat room there are differences between some people with CMEG, what they have easy to borrow versus others. Like one guy had, I forget what stock it was on the other day. It was easy to borrow for him, but not for others, including me. And so we don't know what the deal is there. Somebody's going to look into it and contact them rather than having all of us contact them at the same time. Just to see what the difference is. I have a feeling it might be a difference between what clearinghouse they use and which, based on which platform, because you can use DOS or you can use Sterling. And I don't know why that would make a difference, but that's the only thing I can think of, because the guy who had the stock that was easy to borrow was using Sterling, and the rest of us, I think, were using DAS. So anyway, what made me think of that was that this includes not just the platform fees of $125 a month, but also some locate fees. So you can see I'm left with $500 since September, which is interesting, right? Because I was left with just $300 after this 1 month. But those fees, man, they really get you, right? Which is, again, why I've talked about, we need to, I need to start sizing up, because some of those, sorry, I'll put this back up. Just for instance, thinking about this like any other business, you have fixed costs and you have variable costs, right? And the fixed costs are the $125 a month, right? And then you're going to get charged that, meaning you're going to get charged that no matter what you do. You could not take a trade the entire month, but you get charged the $125 because it's a platform fee and data fees. Basically, they're all wrapped into the one. And then your variable costs are stuff like commissions and ECN fees, then also those borrow fees that come into play. And so, to outrun some of the fixed costs, you'd be trading with bigger size. And to outrun if you're going to start borrowing more and paying those fees, having larger size helps there too. So anyway, let's look at since June, because then I think it gets even more depressing. Hey guys, sorry about that. Probably going to be a rough edit there. I want to put these together, but I screwed something up. And I think I was saying, at the beginning of June was when I started this account. And the first couple of months were really rough. And so here what we're looking at is the totals for June through current. And so that includes the old commission structure, which was crushing me because it was $2.95 a trade instead of 0.4 cents basically per share. And so anyway, it's there's a lot of inconsistent trading in those first couple of months and high commissions that were just ridiculous and really made it tough on my account. But anyway, you can see that the gross from beginning of June was 1435, and then commissions were 1267, and then fees and all of that, and then also it leaves me with $25, and then these fees leaves me with a huge negative balance since the beginning. So I started with $3,000 roughly. You can see that yeah, I'm left down 1,100. Although, I noticed something interesting. So gross, my account before the platform fees was back up over $2,000. So, at the lowest, let's see, here I'm down to 1553. Be careful not to screw this up again, but 1,500 here. I think I was down, here's 1423. I want to say I was down into the 13s at some point, but I could be wrong. So definitely in the 1400 there, and I'm pushing back up. There it is, 1383. That was back in October. So definitely I fought my way back from there, which is a good sign. And let's hope we can continue with that consistency that I've found through the last couple months here, and build on it with some more size and really kind of start kicking some ass. So anywho, that's where we're at for the year, and where my account balance will start beginning of January here, and we'll go from there. So take homes really are, my consistent, my trading has been more consistent lately, and hopefully that will continue. And the fees at Cmeg, if you're long bias, it's a little better just because the locate fees are pretty crazy. But especially with small size, the locate fee, the flat fee of $25 is annoying, and that can't be worked around. I've asked them. But if you get the right promo code for the right commission structure for your type of trading, I think that really makes a difference. So anyway, good luck to you all here in the new year, and make another video soonish.